Well, everything started unravelling around about 9:30 yesterday morning when a meeting was called at the Pheu Thai headquarters, and the Move Forward Party, the party that won 38% of the primary vote at the last election, were basically given their marching orders as Pheu Thai went on to spend the rest of the day putting together their new coalition. We'll go through that story and who those new coalition partners are in just a moment. Just wanted to reiterate from yesterday, we were talking about retirement. And I found these paragraphs sort of hidden away in stories which were, well, headlined about getting rid of bikie gangs from Thailand. And the Deputy Police Commissioner, Surachat Hakpan, who has a history of doing what he says, and that's why it drew my attention to make sure I mention those paragraphs. And he's talking about pretty much reforming the Immigration Act to try and make it, well, I suppose in his words, making it more difficult for people to get those retirement visas, those O and those OA visas, and then I suppose perhaps even the annual renewals. Now, none of this is set in stone. He's basically just throwing stuff up in the air and seeing where it lands. But it is his intention to try and make it more difficult for the retirement visas to be used by, well, people like these outlaw gangs to come and live easily in Thailand. But the new government are going to have to, at some stage, cope with this as they start to form a cabinet and sit down and work out their legislative priorities. But I do think sometime, maybe later this year, maybe early next year, that we may see this come down onto the table in the cabinet and there may be some changes. But at the moment, there are no changes. There are just suggestions. It's not speculation because this came from the mouth of the Deputy Police Commissioner. But we will keep you informed, and I just wanted to remind people that you don't need to panic. There was a certain level of panic in the comment section yesterday. It wasn't the intention. I think I said in the video that I don't want to be seen as a sort of starting fires. But I think it's something that we do need to keep our eyes on. Let's go to Google and see what they're talking about. And these are the headlines this morning on Google after the meeting yesterday with Pheu Thai after they dumped the Move Forward Party to form a different coalition. More about that in a moment. Bangkok Post saying Move Forward Party supporters keep close eye on the Pheu Thai Party. And a bit further down, CNA from Singapore says Thailand's election-winning Move Forward Party no longer part of eight-party, I imagine that would say, coalition. Then up the top there, Reuters, Thailand's Pheu Thai aims to form government after poll winner sidelined. And Thai PBS World reporting protesters burn effigies at the Pheu Thai headquarters as it breaks with Move Forward. And then the Straits Times reporting the Thaksin-linked party plans new bloc to form Thai government without election winner. Now, all this will come to a head tomorrow morning at the Parliament House in Thailand, when there'll be the third joint sitting of the parliaments to decide who is going to be the next Prime Minister, and he will then announce the coalition. Now, Thai PBS World reports latest Pheu Thai breaking with Move Forward to form its own coalition. The Pheu Thai Party announced yesterday afternoon that it's breaking from the Move Forward Party to form its own coalition government and nominate Srettha Thavisin for selection as the Prime Minister of Thailand. The announcement came shortly after a failed meeting, that's that 9:30 yesterday meeting I was referring to, between core members of Pheu Thai and Move Forward aimed at resolving the thorny issue of Move Forward's stand on amendment of the Lèse Majesté law, which was used as a pretext by many senators and MPs to withhold support for prime ministerial candidates from the Move Forward or Pheu Thai parties. Then a bit further down, Move Forward's core members refused to budge on the party's stand. Now, a lot of people have said that the Move Forward Party should have simply said, we're just going to put aside this suggested amendments to the Lèse Majesté law. But what would their voters have thought about that? So it looks like they've made a stand, unusual for a political party these days, where they haven't seen political expediency as the easy way out, and they've forced themselves into opposition. But in the long run, it might prove to be a winning strategy. In the statement, the Pheu Thai Party also announced that it will not support any attempt to amend the lèse majesté law, just to keep those senators happy, and that the Move Forward Party will not be included in a coalition government. In the next paragraph, the party has, however, vowed to push for constitutional amendments, blaming some provisions in the law for the delay in the formation of the government. It said the charter amendments will be treated as part of the national agenda. So yesterday, the Pheu Thai Party, in announcing that it's going to form its own coalition, putting changes to the current constitution or the 2017 charter on the national agenda so that perhaps we don't have the current problem again. And the party said that a Pheu Thai-led government would push for several policies mentioned in the Memorandum of Understanding. That includes marriage equality, the progressive liquor law, which basically wants to end the beer monopoly pretty much, reform of the police, the military and the judicial system, decentralisation of governance. Well, politically, Thailand is pretty much Bangkok and then, well, everywhere else. And then replacement of mandatory conscription with voluntary enlistment and the scrapping of all forms of monopoly. So if the crusty old senators thought that they're going to have a much less progressive government, certainly the Pheu Thai government have been the progressive party in the past, and many of the things they're going to be working on, I think, are going to be pretty much a lot of the Move Forward policies. -1. And Nation Thailand reporting, Pheu Thai leader explains why Move Forward was dropped like a hot potato. I think the word dump was used in a lot of the headlines yesterday as well. And the Pheu Thai leader Cholanan told the media yesterday that his party had done all it could to push for Move Forward's PM candidate Pita Limjaroenrat, with every member of the party voting for him at the joint parliament sitting on July 13th. He said every Pheu Thai MP also voted for Pita when lawmakers argued over whether he could be re-nominated. And then the article, speaking about Pheu Thai dumping Move Forward, says this decision, however, was not welcomed by the party's supporters, with many gathering outside the party headquarters to voice their discontent. The protesters also burned effigies and splashed red liquid. And now that it's backed away from the 8-party alliance, Pheu Thai will likely have no option but to join junta-based parties to ensure sufficient parliamentary votes. And we'll find out who they've joined in just a moment. And the next election will be held once a new constitution has been written. So the Pheu Thai Party saying that they're committed to overhauling and rewriting the 2017 constitution or charter, and that will have to be voted on, so there'll be a referendum, and then, well, according to this, there'll be a new election. So we could have a new election within the 4-year usual time span. And this from the Khao English Facebook page from last night. A Pheu Thai source said last night its party will leave both pro-junta parties, Palang Pracharat and the United Thai Nation Party, in the opposition along with Move Forward Party. Be nice and cosy there in the opposition benches. And that Pheu Thai will be in a coalition with Phumjai Thai Party, Chat Patana Kla Party and Chat Thai Patana. And they're also expecting the Democrat Party MPs will vote for their Prime Ministerial candidate, Srettha Thavisin. So that's what's going to land on the table at the joint sitting of the Parliament tomorrow, and that's what the parliamentarians, both the MPs and the senators, will be expected to vote for. If you want my tip, I think it'll go through and we'll probably have a new Prime Minister. There will, however, I'm sure, be quite a lot of debate before that vote happens. But maybe mid-afternoon, Thailand may have its next Prime Minister. Now, interestingly, in the lead up to the announcement of that new coalition last night, and this also from Khao English on their Facebook page, and a statement from the Pheu Thai Party made no mention about any policy to recriminalise marijuana. And they say it's a sign the party may be seeking Phumjai Thai Party as a coalition partner. So this is the statement from yesterday afternoon before last night's announcement of the new coalition, obviously designed to woo Anatin Javidakun and the Phumjai Thai Party, which it appears that they've done. And also from the Khao English Facebook page, they were very busy yesterday. Angry Move Forward Party supporters burn effigies in front of the Pheu Thai headquarters. after learning about the breakup of the 8-party coalition, which results in the Move Forward Party being in the opposition. And obviously it was getting fairly nasty outside the building there. And some more photos there showing the spraying of red paint. So already noted that there's been a cordon put around the parliament, and that goes into force today until Saturday. They're not going to let the protesters anywhere near the parliament building as that election is held tomorrow. Are we going to see more scenes like this? Are we going to see more disruption at the places like the Asok intersection last night, where there was basically a car protest blocking the traffic for a couple of hours? So I think in the next couple of weeks we can probably expect more protests. Are they going to be loud protests? What's Pheu Thai going to say to their own voters, chumming up with people like Phumjai Thai, who were supporters of the military government, the last coalition? What are they going to say to the Move Forward Party voters, who were, as I mentioned earlier, 38% of the primary voters in the May 14 election? So a bit more disruption to come, but hopefully tomorrow at least we might have a new government. Enough of politics for today. Let's move on to some other matters. And Bangkok Post pretty much running a bit of a campaign here in favour of elephants and returning elephants to the wild, and saying that the cruel practice of using Thailand's national treasure for commercial purposes must end. So running this pretty much as an editorial, I'll put a copy of this or a link to this story in the body of the description of today's video if you want to read the whole lot. But let's go to some of the key points. It starts by saying that throughout history, elephants have held a revered place in the country's way of life and traditional beliefs, and have become symbolic of Thailand through their strength and intelligence for various purposes, including warfare, transport, and supporting heavy labour. They've contributed significantly to the country. Elephants were historically employed as beasts of burden to transport heavy timber from the forests, and obviously they did a very good job at that throughout their history. But it says in response to concerns over deforestation, the Thai government banned logging in 1989. And according to 2021 research by the World Animal Protection Organization, Thailand has 4,000 elephants in captivity in conventional and commercialized elephant camps, with the number increasing due to breeding. And they say the majority of elephants living in captivity in the camps are used for entertainment purposes and suffer mental and physical torment and exploitation. Living under poor welfare conditions, the jumbos have limited space, minimal interaction with their herd, and inadequate nutrition. And many elephant camps face financial struggles, leading to a lack of proper care. And the common solution, says the story, for the absence of tourists is sending rented elephants back to their local owners and bringing them back when tourists return. And the organisation, this is the WAP, advocates for a shift to more elephant-friendly venues. According to the WAP elephant-friendly guidelines, elephants are to remain in a natural state without experiencing activities such as riding and bathing, as these can be harmful to tourists and also stressful for the elephants. Now, this sort of elephant bathing became the replacement for things like elephant rides. You can still have an elephant ride here in Thailand. There are certain locations that still run them. But this bathing has become much more popular in some of these camps. Having said that, I don't know if any tourists have actually been harmed by an elephant that doesn't want to be washed. Well, not that I know of anyway. And then speaking about Chang Chil, which I understand is up at Chiang Mai, visitors are only allowed to observe elephants from a safe distance. Stressful activities for elephants such as riding, bathing and direct interaction have been banned for the safety and well-being of both elephants and humans. So a bit of a tetchy subject, the elephants here in Thailand. Obviously they're not beasts of burden anymore, and they have been working in many of these entertainment areas for the entertainment of tourists. So have a read of the article. I've put a link in the description. Tell us what you think about the future of elephants in Thailand. Moving to another story today, this from thepatianews.com. 2 Indian men drown at Phuket beach after allegedly ignoring no swimming warnings. This would have been originally printed in the PhuketExpress.com. And 2 Indian tourists drowned at Cordon beach after allegedly ignoring red flags and no swimming warnings. Now, it should be noted that we're now up to 4 people drowning just over the last 7 days here in Phuket. And 2 male Indian tourists had already been pulled up from the surf onto the beach by lifeguards. Before rescue workers had arrived, both men had no pulse and were rushed to a nearby hospital where they were both later pronounced dead. And speaking of the tourists, 4 of them went swimming in the sea despite ample warnings to stay out of the water. All 4 were pulled out to sea by strong waves. So Cordon Beach, about a 3-kilometre stretch of beach in the middle of the west coast. Pretty treacherous this time of the year. It's just a straight stretch of beach, and it's got these very strong currents, these rips, that can take you out to sea in a sort of a conveyor belt current of water. When you're standing on the shore and you know what you're looking for, you can actually see these rips. Now, the beach had red flags all along the beach yesterday, and it also had lifeguards on duty, but somehow these 4 Indian tourists decided it was still a good idea to go swimming. 2 of them drowned as a consequence. And Cowsed English on their Facebook page, once again, they've had a good workout today. It says the Bangkok governor on Tuesday ordered a clean-up of shantytown areas along the Pheu Thai rail track after Japanese netizens were appalled by the sight of their donated train having to pass through the area, which is full of rubbish. Yes, the Japanese government donated a couple of these second-hand trains, which were much more modern than the Thai trains using the same tracks. Now, I very quickly this morning went to Richard Barrow's page to see if I could find some more information about these Japanese trains. I know he wrote about them at the time, but I just didn't have enough time to find that. But yes, the Japanese tourists saying, "Oh dear, look at the area our trains are going through." And yeah, just basically a shanty town, rubbish strewn all over the place. And of course, those photos making their way into the Japanese Twitter. Oh, it's not Twitter anymore, is it? It's X. Brilliant business decision, that one. But the governor, Chad Chart, deciding that needs to be cleaned up. Just noting there, you've got a 2-photo montage with the train on one side and the governor on the other, but they have done a little bit of combination with the governor's hands. So good to see an enterprising graphic artist just putting a little bit of extra time into that photo montage yesterday. And that's the way we see the news today on Thursday, the 3rd of August. We've got a joint parliamentary sitting tomorrow. We'll do a special video on our YouTube channel if there is any important breaking news in relation to a new Prime Minister and a coalition here in Thailand. Certainly something that we need to get out of the way so we can move forward with the running of the country. Now, I also mentioned yesterday that we're heading for 25,000 subscribers by our first anniversary. That's in the, I think, the first week of next month. We've just crossed over 24,000. I'm pretty sure we can get to 25,000. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate your support, and we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.